On September 2, 2025, President Donald Trump announced that U.S. Space Command would move its headquarters from Colorado Springs to Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama, a move reversing a prior decision by the Biden administration to keep it in Colorado. The Air Force had recommended Huntsville as the ideal site back in 2021, citing infrastructure and strategic advantages. However, the Biden administration chose to keep it in Colorado in 2023, citing readiness concerns and relocation delays. This run of decisions sparked intense lobbying and bipartisan criticism. President Trump framed his reversal as the culmination of persistent advocacy by Alabama lawmakers and the superiority of Huntsville as a location, while also attributing part of the decision to political grievances, including Colorado's use of mail-in ballots. Huntsville's aerospace legacy. Huntsville is deeply embedded in the U.S. space and defense ecosystem. Redstone Arsenal hosts a cluster of defense and space agencies, including the Army Space and Missile Defense Command, the Missile Defense Agency, and the NASA Marshall Space Flight Center, which has been the nation's rocket propulsion nexus since the Apollo era. The city's nickname, Rocket City, stems from its historical contributions to the U.S. space program, particularly under the leadership of Wernher von Braun and the early Saturn V development. Huntsville has already invested heavily in infrastructure to support the anticipated influx, including hundreds of millions in transportation, schools, healthcare, and community facilities. Officials project that roughly 1,400 personnel will be transferred to Huntsville over the next 5 years. The Department of Defense, however, cited a far more expansive forecast of tens of thousands of job opportunities and hundreds of billions of dollars in investment, particularly tied to initiatives like the Golden Dome missile defense system. Colorado's congressional delegation condemned the move, warning it would undermine national security, disrupt military readiness, and cost the region about 1,400 jobs and $1 billion in economic activity. This decision highlights how shifts in federal policy and administration can have dramatic effects on the geography of U.S. strategic defense infrastructure. Huntsville's selection emphasizes the continued value of legacy aerospace hubs that offer both physical infrastructure and institutional know-how. But the move also injects a heavy dose of politics into defense planning and regional economic strategy.